Hello, today we will discuss profit and loss. Okay, so to discuss profit and loss, we have to know what is cost price and selling price. Okay, so cost price. So let us assume that I am a shopkeeper. Okay, so suppose I buy something at some rupees, then I sell it at another rupees, so that if the selling price becomes more than the buying price, then we get a profit, right? So let me give an example here. Suppose I have a pen, suppose I buy a pen at rupees 10. Okay, so I buy a pen at 10 rupees and I sell it to my friend. Let's say to my friend, the same pen I sell it to my friend at rupees 15 rupees. Therefore I buy it at 10 rupees and sell it at 15 rupees. Therefore I gained rupees 15 minus 10 is equals to 5. Therefore I have now extra 5 rupees in my hand, and that extra rupees is called the profit or gain. Okay, so this 5 rupees is called gain or profit. Okay, so this is the situation. So cost price is the price at which something is purchased at, okay, or bought at. Okay, and the selling price is the price at which it is bought. Okay, so here there should not be any at, because already at is there. Okay, the price at which it is sold. Okay, so that is called the selling price. Okay, so if the selling price, so we write shortcut SP. If the selling price is greater than cost price, that is CP. So if the selling price is bigger than the cost price, then definitely I will have some extra amount in my hand. Therefore I have profit. Then profit occurs, right? And the amount of profit, so what is the amount of profit? So profit equals SP minus CP. So this much amount is the gain amount. Okay, and now what is the profit percent? So now we discuss what is profit percent. What is profit percent? So profit percent is the amount of profit if the cost price is 100. So suppose the cost price is 100, then the selling price, let's say 120, then I have 20 rupees extra. So that 20 is called the profit percent. Okay, but in reality the cost price may not be 100, so we have to make it 100. Okay, so to make the profit percent. Okay, so in unitary method we can do that, and there is we can derive a formula also. Okay, so let's say so let me give an example for this pen example. So, if the cost price is 10, then profit equals to rupees 5, right. You see this example to the right side. Therefore, now if the cost price is rupees 1, let us say, so at 10 rupees I gained 5 rupees. So, if the cost price becomes 1 rupees, then I should gain 1 by 2 rupees, right. Then the profit would be 5 by 10, that is half rupee. So, if the cost price is 100, then the profit would be 5 by 10 into 100, and that would be 50 rupees. Therefore, out of 100, if I spend 100 rupees, then I would get a profit of 50 rupees. Therefore, 50 is the percent of profit. Okay. So, profit percent equals to 50% for this. Okay. So, if you see this calculation here, the total profit divided by the cost price into 100, right, because the profit was 5 rupees, cost price was 10 rupees. So, 5 by 10 into 100, that is the amount of profit percent. So, we get a formula for profit percent equals to the amount of profit divided by the cost price into 100 and percent. Okay. So, that is how we calculate the profit percentage. Okay. Now, if I suppose if I buy the pen at rupees 10 and sell it at rupees 8, therefore, I will now I will have a 2 rupees deficiency, and that deficiency is called the loss. Okay. So, the amount of loss happens when the selling price is less than the cost price. Okay. So, if SP is less than CP, then loss happens, right, and the amount of loss is calculated as, then CP is bigger, therefore, CP minus SP, this is the amount of loss, and then the loss percent is actual loss divided by the CP into 100%. That is how we calculate the loss percentage, and this is also can be found by the method of unitary. Okay. So, this is the loss percent. Okay. So, if we are given the cost price, and if I am given the selling price, then we can find the loss, and therefore, we can find the loss percent. Okay. Similarly, the profit and profit percent. Okay. Now, if we know the profit and the cost price, then the SP we can also get. So, SP is nothing but, suppose I have let me give the another example, the same example. So, our cost price is of the pen is rupees 10, right, the cost price is 10, and suppose I got a profit of rupees 5. Therefore, after selling it, I have extra 5 rupees. Therefore, what should be the selling price? Then the selling price definitely 10 plus 5. This is a very common sense, right? So, selling price is 10 plus 5, that is 15 rupees, right. So, the selling price is nothing but the cost price plus the profit, if there is a profit. Now, if there is a loss, then I have to subtract the loss, because the selling price would be less than the cost price. So, in case of loss, the SP becomes CP minus loss. Okay. So, sometimes loss can be written as a negative of profit. So, that is how we can get SP if I am given the CP and the profit. So, here the profit percent I am not taking into consideration, I am taking the whole profit. Okay. Now, suppose I am given, now the situation is, let us say CP and profit percent is given. Okay. Then I have to get the amount of SP. So, what is the SP? Okay. So, let us say this we consider this situation. Okay. Now, take the example. So, let CP equals to 10 rupees. Okay. CP equals to 10 rupees and profit percent equals to 10%. So, if the cost price is 100, then I get a 10 rupees profit, but the actual cost price is not 100, it is actually 10. Okay. So, if CP equals to 100, then profit is 10. That is what the 10% profit tells us, right. If CP is 100, then the profit is 10. Now, the CP is 10. So, if unitary method, if CP is 1, then the profit is definitely less than 10. So, it would be 10 by 100. Okay. So, now if CP is 100, then the okay, then it would be, so CP is 10, then it would be 10 into 10 divided by 100. So, that is 1. Okay. So, now therefore, the actual profit is rupees 1 when we sell at 10% profit. Okay. So, now the SP would be nothing but rupees 10 and the profit I have to add. Okay. So, the 11 rupees is the SP. So, that the SP minus CP becomes 1 and 1 is the profit. Okay. So, everything matches. So, therefore, if we want to make a formula, so first our target should be to get the actual amount of profit. Okay. So, actual profit or just the profit equals, then the CP into the percent amount, let us say let us say the profit is R percent. So, it is R percent. So, that means CP into R by 100. This is the actual amount of profit. Okay. And therefore, the SP would be CP plus the profit, CP plus the profit, and therefore, if the CP is CP and the profit is CP into R by 100. See, it is here CP into R by 100. So, R is the amount of profit. Okay. So, let me write it here. So, profit percent equals to R percent. Okay. Therefore, it is now if CP you can take it as a common. So, CP becomes now 1 plus R by 100. So, this is the formula for the SP. Okay. So, let me give an example. Suppose CP equals to rupees 10 and profit percent equals to 1%, 10%. Okay. Therefore, now SP becomes CP, that is 10 into 1 plus R by 100. So, R is 10, 10 by 100. Okay. So, that is 1, 10 into 10, 0 0 cancels and we get 1 plus 1 by 10 and that is nothing but so 1 plus 1 by 10 is 11 by 10, 11 by 10. So, 10 10 cancels. So, that is 11 rupees. Okay. So, this is a nice formula to get the SP when the profit percentage is given. Okay. Okay. Now, there are many situations arises, but we are not dealing with that. Okay. So, now we should spend some time giving some examples. Okay. Okay. So, our first question, Suppose a man buys a cycle at rupees 3000 and sells it at 3500. Find the profit or loss. Okay. So, the solution is like this. So, we have to get the cost price and the selling price, and the cost price is given as the rupees 3000. So, we can see the CP or the cost price that is CP of the bicycle or just the cycle is rupees 3000. Okay. And the selling price, that is SP, is rupees 3500. So, which is bigger? You can see that the selling price is bigger. So, as SP is bigger than CP, there is a profit. Okay. So, what is the amount of profit? So, profit equals SP minus CP, and that is rupees 3500 minus 3000, that is rupees 500. So, I get the profit. Now, I have to find the profit percent. So, profit percent equals this is 500 divided by the cost price, and the cost price is 3000. Okay. So, 3000 into 100%. Okay. Now, we have to simplify it. So, so for the calculation, there are 3 zeros cancels out and it becomes 50 by 3%, which is 3 ones are 3, carry 2, so 20. So, 6 into 3 18. Now, 2 remains extra, 2 by 3. So, 16 complete 2 by 3%. So, that is the amount of profit percent. So, the meaning of this is that if the cost price becomes 100 rupees, then the I get a profit of 16 rupees and 2 by 3 rupees extra. Okay. So, that is the case of profit percent, but the actual profit is 500. Okay. So, this is how we solve problems. Okay. Now, let me consider another problem. Suppose a man buys a dozen of eggs for rupees 30. So, a dozen means 12 eggs. So, he buys 12 eggs for rupees 30, okay, and sells for 3 rupees per each egg. That means 1 egg 3 rupees, but he has all 12 eggs. So, he sells all eggs, right. So, that is how much he gains or loss. So, that we have to find. So, our first job is to find the cost price and the selling price, so that we can get the profit and loss. Okay. So, here the CP, that means the total cost price. So, we see that the total cost price is rupees 30. So, that is straightforward, it is given in the question. And what is the selling price? Now, you see he sells 1 egg at rupees 3, but he has 12 eggs. So, the selling price is 12 into 3, that is rupees 36. Now, we can see that selling price is bigger. So, as SP is bigger than CP, there is a profit. there is a profit, right. So, what is the profit amount? So, profit equals SP minus CP, which is rupees 36 minus 30, which is rupees 6. So, he has 6 rupees profit for the cost price 30. Okay. Now, so the profit percent is the profit divided by CP into 100%, which is 6 by 30 into 100%. Now, 6 5s are 36. So, 5 20 100. So, it is 20%. So, the profit is 20%. Okay. So, now the another question. The cost price of 10 books is equal to selling price of 15 books. Okay. That means, if he buys 10 book at some amount, then he can recover the money by selling 15 books, okay, at some price. So, here we suppose that each book has same price. Okay. So, to recover the money of the cost price, he has to sell 15 books, but he has only 10 books, right. So, he buys 10 book, and to recover that money he has to sell 15 books. Okay. Therefore, after selling 10 books, he could not get the cost price. Therefore, he has to suffer a loss, and the amount of loss is definitely the amount of 5 books that he has to still sell. Okay. So, this problem can be solved rather quick way, but you have to think a little bit. Okay. So, first we will solve this into different methods. Okay. So, the method 1, let me discuss first the method 1. Okay. If you notice that the actual cost price is not given. Okay. So, we can assume the anything as the cost price, okay, because cost price is not given. Okay. So, assume the cost CP of 10 books equals SP of, that is selling price of 15 books, that is given, and the actual amount I can take anything. Okay. So, we will take it a suitable number, so that our calculation will be easier. Okay. So, here a better number would be to take the LCM of this 10 and 15. Okay. So, that LCM is 30. Okay. 15 to the 30, which is divisible by 10 and 15 as well. Any multiple of 30 will work. Okay. But we will take it as 30. Let us say 30. You can take 3000 also, does not matter. Okay. So, if you are hesitant to take 30, you can take 30x. So, you can multiply by x anything. Okay. So, let us say rupees 30x. Okay. Because the actual amount we do not know, that therefore, rupees 30 is little unpractical, therefore, I made 30x. But the calculation will not be difficult, because x will not have any role in the upcoming calculation. Okay. So, now you see, like CP of 10 books is 30x, but he bought only 10 books. So, he has to sell only 10 books. Huh? So, I now I have CP is 30x, this is the CP of 10 books. So, if he sold all the 10 books, how much money he gets, that would be the SP, right. But here it is given that SP of 15 books is 30x. Okay, so we have to get the SP of 10 books. Okay, so SP of 10 books, that this is our need. Okay, so SP of 15 books, that is given as rupees 30x, right? And therefore SP of one book, I have to divide by 15, so that is 30x by 15, that is 2x. Okay, rupees 2x. So this is the price of selling price of one book, but he has 10 books. So SP of 10 books equals to rupees 2x into 10, that is rupees 20x. Now you see, he has bought 10 books at rupees 30x and he sold it all the 10 books at 20x. So here you can see SP is less than CP, therefore there is a loss. There is a loss. So how much loss? So the loss is rupees 30x minus 20x, that is rupees 10x. So he has to suffer 10x loss for the cost price 30x. So he buys at 30x, he sells it at 20x, therefore he has some loss of 10x. Okay, so the loss percent is the amount of loss divided by the CP into 100%, and that is nothing but 10x divided by 30x into 100%. And you see x gets cancelled, 0 0 cancels, so this is 100 by 3%, and that is nothing but 33 complete 1/3%. So this is the amount of loss percent. Okay, now I will solve this problem in a easier way. Okay, but this is elaborate, but this is not so elaborate, but this is a tricky method. Okay, now you see, it is given that CP of 10 books equals to SP of 15 books, that is the case, right? Now you have to analyze this statement. He buys 10 books, therefore he can sell only 10 books because he has only 10 books, but to recover this all the cost price he has to sell 15 books. So 5 extra books he has to sell to get all the cost price. Therefore after selling 10 books, the remaining selling price of 5 books, that is still not recovered. That means that amount is the loss amount. Okay, if he doesn't sell the 5 extra books, that much amount he has to suffer as loss. So if you understand this thing, therefore we can easily get the amount of loss. So the loss equals the SP of 5 books. Okay, so I get the loss, that is equal to the selling price of the 5 books, that is the loss. Okay, because after selling 10 books he has not recovered all the cost price, and if he sells more 5 books then he can recover all the cost price. Okay, so that is how we can get the loss. Okay, now if you get this statement clear to you, I can now find the loss percentage. So loss percentage is the loss divided by the CP into 100%. Okay, and the loss is nothing but SP of 5 books, and the cost price, because he has he buys 10 books, so this is now CP of 10 books, right? 10 books, okay, into 100%. Now see, here SP and here CP, that is the problem for the calculation. Now if you notice, CP of 10 books equals to SP of 5 books. So if I divide, okay, now CP of 10 books equals to SP of 15 books, right. So if I replace SP of 5 books divided by, now replace this CP of 10 books by SP of 15 books, SP of 15 books, that is from the, okay. Now SP of 5 books divided by SP of 15 books, this is nothing but 5 by 15, that is 1/3. So this is 100 by 3%, that is 33, complete 1/3%. See, this is how we can easily get the percentage, and that is the loss percent, okay. So this is a very easy method, but you have to think a little bit, okay. If you think the situation, you can easily get that, okay. Okay. Now let us solve another example. A man sold 2 photo frames at rupees 492. Okay, he has 2 photo frame, okay. So suppose he has 2 photo frame, he sold 2 photo frames at 492 each. So the SP is given, right, because it is written sold. So for this he sold at 492, here also he sold at 492, but you do not know the cost price, okay. So here for the at 1 he gained 20%, so here he gained 20% extra, okay, and here he lost 20%. So find his overall gain. So at one photo frame he gains 20%, on the another he lost 20%. So overall, if you see it from the outside, you see that there should not be any gain or loss, but that is a wrong statement, okay. You have to go into deep, okay. So let us solve this, okay. So let us assume that the first photo frame, for the first photo frame he gains 20%, and for the second he lost 20%, okay. So here SP and gain percentage is given, and you have to find the CP, okay. Now the best way to do it, assume that the cost price is 100x, do not assume x only, okay, because for the percentage question assuming 100x is much easier for the calculation. So assume the CP of first photo frame equals rupees 100x. So at 100x he buys it and sells at 20% extra. So the profit percent equals to 20%, right. Therefore the profit amount equals to the CP into profit percent, that is 20 by 100, and that is nothing but 100x into 20 by 100. So this calculation becomes easier because 0 cancels and you get rupees 20x. So he gets 20x extra. Therefore the SP of first photo frame equals, this is 100x the CP and the profit is 20x, which is 120x. Okay, but according to the question this is 492. So 80Q according to the question, rupees 120x is equals to rupees 492. Okay, therefore if you want to get the CP, that is 100x, so x equals to 492 divided by 120 and 100x equals 492 into 100 divided by 120. So let me cancel by 12. So this is 4 1. So 4 1. Yeah. So this much amount. So the CP of the first frame, CP of the first photo frame equals rupees 410. Similarly, if you do it similarly, and for the second photo frame there is a loss. Okay, so you have to write loss here. So and the SP now would be CP minus the loss. So here you need a negative sign. So 100 minus 20, that would be 80x. So you have to divide 80x instead of 120. So the CP of the second photo frame is nothing but 492 divided by 80 into 100. Okay, so now if you calculate it, so divide by 8, 6 8s 48 and 1 2 12, right? So that is 1 point, then 5. So that is 615. Okay, so rupees, let me do. So 615 is the cost price of the second photo frame. So what is the total CP? Therefore the total CP equals to rupees 410 plus 615, and that is nothing but 1025. So this is the amount he requires to buy it, and the total SP is how much? So total SP equals 2 into 492. Okay, and that is 2 to the 4, 9 to the 18, so 984. So that is the amount he get after selling it. So rupees 984, but the cost price is 1025. So you see that SP is less than the cost price. Okay, so let me continue it here. So SP is less than the CP and there is a loss. So what is the amount of loss? So ultimate loss is equals rupees 1025 minus 984. So that is, there is a 16 plus 25, that is rupees 41. So 41 rupees is the loss. So this is the overall loss. Okay, this is the overall loss. Clear? So that's how we solve this question. Okay. Now the another question. A washing machine is sold for rupees 8,400 at a loss of 20 rupees. The selling price is given and the loss percentage is given. Selling price and the loss is given. You have to find the cost price. Okay. So now we can get a formula also here. Let me see, we have written the formula or not. Yes, I have written this formula. If the okay, no, not this one. Okay, so okay, so let me write the formula. I have not written. So if the SP is given and the loss percent or profit percentage is given, then the formula for the CP, that's how we find this formula from this unitary method. So the formula for the CP equals, okay, now look at carefully. The formula would be what is. So here the SP, you see this SP now divided by 100 plus the profit, right, 100 plus the profit. So therefore it is SP divided by 100 plus profit percent, that let me write it as R into 100. Okay. Now if there is a loss, I have to write minus R. If there is a gain, I have to write a plus R. So that is the formula. Okay. So we can use the formula, or you can take this step taking as 100x, okay, and get the profit as percent, then find the actual profit, then the SP, then equate to get a equation, find the value of x and put it back, you get the actual CP. Okay. So that's a long way, and if we do it in as in formula, you get this formula. Okay. So here the SP is given as rupees 8,400, okay, and there is a loss, right. So loss percent equals to 20%. So therefore CP equals to now 8400 divided by 100, there is a loss, therefore minus 20 into 100, that is the amount of cost price. So let me solve this. 8400 into 100 divided by 80. So 0 gets cancels and there is 4, 5 and there is a 4. Let me divide by 4. So it is 2100. Now 21 into 5 is 105 and 2 more 0, I have rupees this. So the cost price of the washing machine is rupees 10,500. So this is the solution of 1. Now the new selling price in order to gain 22%. So now he wants to sell it at 22% gain. Okay. So then the cost price, now it is known. So to find the selling price, now it is easy. So the SP is CP into 1 plus 22 by 100. That is the formula, we have already wrote it. So now it is 10,500 into, so it is 122 by 100. So now cancels it. So it is 105 into 122. Okay. So we can multiply and get the answer. So 122 into 105. So 5 to the 10, 11, 156, 0, 0, 0, 2, 2, 1, 0, 1, 8, 2, 1. So 12810. So that is the amount of new selling price. Okay. You can get it like this also. First find the total profit. So the profit would be this much into 22%. So you have to multiply by 22 then, and then after that you add the CP to get the amount, or you directly do it like this. Okay. So always there are more ways to solve. You have to find the better way. Okay. The better way has to be better to you. Okay. So that's how we can solve this question. Okay. Now I will solve one question, then we'll stop this lecture. Okay. Then there is a mark price and we'll solve it in another lecture. Okay. So now this question, a shopkeeper buys 200 bicycles at rupees 1200 per bicycle. So 1200 for each one bicycle, but he buys total 200 bicycles. He spends 6000 on transportation because he buys 200 bicycles. So he has to spend some extra amount to bring those bicycles to his shop. So he spends 6000 for the transportation and 4000 on advertisement. So these extra cost, these are called overheads. Okay. So these overheads are also added to the cost price, because ultimately he has to spend all those amount, right. So all overheads plus the actual cost price, all will be added together. Okay. Now he sells all the bicycles at rupees 1350 rupees per bicycle. Okay. Then find his profit or loss. Also find it as a percentage. So now the question is, you have to get the cost price plus the overheads. Okay. So the amount to buy 200 bicycles equals rupees 200 into 1200, and this is how much, 2440, right. So that is 2,40,000. So this much amount he spends for buying. Now transportation cost equals to rupees 4000. Okay. Another cost, advertisement cost equals to rupees 4000. Oh sorry, this is 6000 and this is 4000. Okay. So the total overheads, equals to rupees 6 and 4, that is 10,000. Okay, 10,000. So the total CP now becomes rupees 2,40,000 plus 10,000 for the overhead, and that is becomes rupees 2,50,000. Okay. Now the total SP the total selling price is 200 into 1350, and that is how much? So that is nothing but 3 zeros, 135 into 2, that is 270. So that means he gets more SP than CP. So as SP is bigger than CP, there is a profit. There is a profit. So how much the profit? So profit is SP minus CP, and that is how much? 2,70,000 minus rupees 2,50,000, and that is 20,000. Okay, so profit percent equals 20,000 divided by 2,50,000 into 100%. Okay, so now to calculate, let me cancels this 4 zeros. Okay, now 2 by 25, so 2504, so that is 8%, right? So he gets 8% profit. Okay, so the total profit is 20,000 and the percent amount 8%. Now you should now solve the exercise, I think 1, whatever it is, you solve the exercise and that's it. Okay, have a nice day.